Hi, I thought I'd just take you on a quick tour of the farm. These are some of the fields heading towards the end of the driveway leading into the main stabling area. I'm lucky enough to have a couple of Australian horses here, which are in the fields that you can see. Down over towards the right there are my Amish neighbours, which you'll see a little bit later on. They're super neighbours. They have 5 little kids and live by very strict religious rules, but they're really cool to get along with. This is heading down towards the main stables. We'd had a storm the day before this video actually and had quite a few trees down, but thankfully none along the driveway there. And I'll take you now into the actual barn itself. Oh, and of course, can't forget the Australian cattle dog. There's always one around.
Alright, I just wanted to introduce you to a couple of the horses. Oh, and of course, Mia. Obviously it's in the middle of summer here and it's quite hot. So the horses actually spend most of their time inside during the day. We turn them out at night time when the weather's cooler and there are fewer mosquitoes and flies, etc. This is Dewey Square. He's a thoroughbred. He did race. He was bred by Sienna Farm in Kentucky, and it is currently still owned by Sienna Farm and Nicholas de Moray. He was bred to run in the Kentucky Derby, but he was the race before didn't go so well for him, and he ended up not being able to run. After that, who's that? It's Dewey. After that, he went on to young show jumper here in America, Isabella de Sousa, and she took him to the Retired Racehorse Project, which is a huge competition here that gets 800 or 900 entries, and he actually won the show jumping section, which was fantastic. And then he became an event horse. As you can see, he's pretty good natured. He's a little particular about his people. He likes his own space. But once he likes you, he likes you, and he's there. He was actually Mia's first horse that she met when she came home from the hospital. And he's about 16'3", hands high, very fast horse, very powerful. And then we go on down here to, this is actually a 4-year-old that belongs to Valerie Fox, bred by Fox Lair Sport Horses in Maryland, and owned by Valerie Fox. She's wonderful. We have really high hopes for her for the future. And then here is FF Valor, who is currently competing intermediate, and the virus kind of messed up our schedule a little bit. She should have been doing her first advance next weekend actually, but we can wait for the winter, it's not a big deal. Margot is one of the sweetest horses that I've ever worked with. She's very trainable, nicest horse I've ever had that I could keep riding on the flat, really great jumper. She was bred by David Finch at Finch Farms in Durunda, by Calgary, and she's owned by Julie Scott, who lives in Maryland, Kylie Harrod Eagles and Ollie Goodman, who live in England, and then also she's part owned by Fox Lair Farms. She's one of my favorite horses by far that I've ever been able to ride, and her and Mia did get along quite well. I did leave a stable open for Mia for a pony, but I'm hoping that she chooses not ride and that she chooses to do tennis or something else. I have 2 barns. There's this one here, and then I have another one out in that direction, heading down towards my arena. And next I'll take you for a tour of the grass track that I have going around the edge of the farm.
Here I'm just going to take you on a quick tour of the grass gallop that I have around the farm. It actually has several options. So I'm going to take you up the perimeter for this one, but then I've got that steeper option up there that actually winds across the farm. But let's go and take a look at this. The day-to-day schooling gets done, and there's some more fields out there, and then right next door here are our Amish neighbors, and so it can be quite cool. Some days we're out here schooling and we look off in the distance there, and they will be working their horses in the field, ploughing or planting or harvesting or whatever, and then they have a warehouse down there. They actually don't use electricity, so it's quite interesting seeing them work without modern day conveniences. This is a big turnout we have over here. We actually use that for producing hay, as well as having some horses turned out there. And then this is Gus. He's an intermediate horse that belongs to one of my students. And then here's one of the horses schooling through an exercise, obviously. And then I thought I'd share a pretty quick clip of the Amish neighbors again. This was haying the back paddock. They do everything by horse and hand. No electricity or petrol allowed. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the tour.